At some point, your environment stops being the excuse and you become the decision. This is episode 4 of my train of thoughts. Growing up, a lot of our values and standards come from our environment, the people around us, what we see, what we are taught, and that's natural. But as we step into adulthood, something changes. We now have the responsibility to use our free will to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn what is actually healthy for us and for the people we choose to build relationships with. But here's the difficult part. Sometimes we struggle to unlearn unhealthy traits and mindsets, not because we don't know their consequences, but because we are still in environments that reinforce them. Environments that acknowledge them, endorse them, or simply ignore them. So instead of unlearning and relearning, we fall back on excuses. Excuses tied to our environment, our tribe, our religion, our past experience, or even people we look up to. And somewhere along the line, we forget something important. We are adults, which means we have the ability to choose differently. And if you're truly uncomfortable with the mindset of people around you, then you need the courage to choose your own mindset. Because at some point, your environment explains you, but it should not control you. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine someone who participated fully in the Ozora festival that resulted in the sexual assault of some women. And when he's confronted and held accountable, he says he was just following tradition. But that's still a choice he made. Because if he wasn't comfortable with that tradition, he would have spoken against it, or at least choosing not to be part of it. A second scenario is someone who grew up in an abusive home, and as an adult, he repeats the same behavior in his own family. And when he's questioned, he blames his upbringing, ignoring the fact that he has seen the damage firsthand. If anything, that experience should be the reason to choose differently. A third scenario is someone who experiences heartbreak and then starts treating others the same way they were treated, trying to justify it based on their past experience and pain. But pain is not a license to pass pain. And it's not a license to forget that you're an adult. Because if you are truly uncomfortable with what you went through, then healing should come first, before bringing someone else into it. A more relatable case is someone who admires a celebrity so much that they adopt their opinions completely without thinking for themselves. Even when they understand both sides of the issue, that's not influence, that's surrendering your judgment. And we even see this play out in real life. Celebrities endorse political candidates, and fans follow blindly, without asking if it's actually the right choice. And when things go wrong, they turn back and try to hold the celebrity accountable. Forgetting something simple, you have to be an adult to vote, which means you have the free will to make your own decision. And when you look at all these situations, you start to see the pattern. We shift blame to our environment, our traditions, our upbringing, our past, and even the people we admire. But we forget one simple truth. We are adults. And with that comes responsibility. Responsibility for our thoughts, responsibility for our actions, responsibility for the choices we make. Yes, society should improve. Yes, our values should evolve. But at some point, it becomes personal. Because at the end of the day, we have free will and we are accountable for how we use it. Now, this is my train of thought. See you on my next episode.